Hey guys, welcome back to Cooking with William, where today we're going to be using ingredients you guys chose on my Instagram to make some chorizo tacos with cactus and Dijon mustard. Alright, let's get started talking about the ingredients. All three of our main ingredients were chosen by my Instagram followers, so if you want to participate next time, go follow me. First one is going to be Dijon mustard, then we have some chorizo. I'm a big fan of chorizo, so I'm glad this one was picked. And finally, the wild card, we have some fresh cactus. This was actually pretty hard to find, but I ended up just ordering it online if you want to get some. But first, let's start with our chorizo. You're going to want to squeeze it out into a large skillet over medium-high heat and then flatten it out. This is going to help increase the surface area, which will then increase the browning. For any ground sausages or ground beef like this, flattening it out is the best way to go. Once the bottom layer is nice and brown, go ahead and break it up until it's all nice and brown, and then add some fresh garlic cloves and some cilantro. Go ahead and stir that up and let it continue cooking for about 30 seconds until it's nice and fragrant, and then dry on some paper towels on a plate. Now, since I'm scared of the cactus, we're going to talk about Dijon mustard next. Dijon mustard has some great flavor, but it's also an emulsifier, so it's great for making a vinaigrette. We're going to start with about 2 cloves of chopped garlic in a small bowl. To that, we're going to add about a 1/4 cup of olive oil. If you have something nice, it'll really be noticeable here. Next, we're going to just add 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar and then season with black pepper and some Worcestershire sauce. Now you'll start to notice when you stir this together, the oil and the water and the vinegar are going to separate. This is because oil is hydrophobic, but Dijon mustard is an emulsifier, which means parts of it are hydrophobic, parts of it are hydrophilic. When you put it in there, the oil and the water both stick to the mustard, and it creates a thicker, more emulsified sauce. It also just makes it taste delicious. So go ahead and add about a tablespoon of your Dijon mustard, and then your vinaigrette is done. Let that sit at room temperature for about 20 minutes. Now we can work on our cactus. The first thing you're going to have to do is just trim off all the edges. There's not much edible flesh here, and so it's best to just get rid of it while you can. Now you're going to notice that some parts are thicker than others. This bottom part here is a lot thicker, and it's going to be easier to get edible flesh off of, but really the best way to do it is to just take a nice sharp knife and run it along the side to peel off all of the skin. Now if it still has the pricks in it, it's going to be a lot harder. I would recommend roasting it over a fire to burn them off, but mine were removed. This is going to be pretty hard, and you're going to find that you don't get that much flesh off of it. I found it easier for some of the thinner pieces to use a fork to help me stabilize it, but even with that, I only ended up with a few pieces of actual edible flesh from that whole leaf. Now, if you give it a try, you'll notice that the texture isn't great raw. It's a little slimy, and so I think that it would be good in a guacamole. This can kind of help hide the texture behind some other interesting flavors, starting with some avocado, just to make it a little more traditional. Yes, I'm trying to hide the cactus behind the avocado. Sue me. Anyways, like any good guacamole, we're going to season this with some fresh cracked black pepper, as well as a little bit of kosher salt, and optionally some red chili flakes. Now, using your mortar and pestle or food processor, go ahead and mix that up. Now we can start assembling our tacos. Go ahead and start with some corn tortillas. I like a double layer because the store-bought ones tend to fall apart really easily. Lay all of your chorizo on top of that, which will give the perfect bed for our cactus and avocado guacamole. This was a lot better than I thought. The cactus actually adds a little bit of nice freshness to the mix. Now I like to top that with a little bit of shredded Oaxaca cheese. This is just to add a little bit of extra flavor to the taco. Now we can add our vinaigrette. This adds some really nice complex acidic notes that will help cut through the rich chorizo. At this point, we have all of our ingredients used in the taco, but I wanted to add a few thinly sliced shallots for some oniony flavor, as well as a few chunks of diced tomato, just for some color and for a little added freshness on top. And then just so I didn't hide behind the avocado too much, I'm going to add a few slices of fresh cactus right on top. Go ahead and finish that with a squeeze of lime, and make sure you serve with extra lime. No taco is complete without lime juice. And there you have it, your chorizo, Dijon mustard, and cactus street tacos. I'd like to thank all of my Instagram followers who helped me come up with these ideas. It was really fun trying to figure out the best way to use all of these ingredients and make them fit together into one dish. If you want to pick the next ingredients, make sure you go follow me on Instagram, but for now, just make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.